It is absolutely great that you have stopped eating animals and products made from animals. This is an amazing way to live our lives. And at first, it might seem like an enormous challenge. Like, well, what am I going to do? Well, first, reflect. It's so beautiful. How many lives are you saving when you eat plant-based for one day or for 1 week or for a month or a year? And you do some simple calculations and you think, wow, I'm really saving a lot of lives. And closer to home, you are saving your own life. You are certainly preserving your health because plant-based diet, the scientific evidence is overwhelming that a plant-based diet is by far the healthiest diet for preventing disease, treating disease, and reversing disease. So, I mean, this is a win-win for all living beings. Yeah, but what am I going to eat? I've been eating animals all my life, and I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, and I don't know what to eat. Well, go to the supermarket and have a look and see there's so much stuff available. Let's start with something like mushrooms. Depending on the season, depending where you are, you're going to find 4 or 5 different mushrooms available. Try one that you've never used before, or maybe buy one that you're already familiar with. Buy a pack of that. And then also buy another type of mushroom that, well, I've never seen this before. Let's say it's a portobello. Never heard of it. Or shiitake. What do I do with it? Go ahead and buy it. And when we get home, we'll start experimenting with it. So get yourself 1 or 2 packs of mushrooms. Another thing would be tofu. Now, I have one friend loves to complain, oh, I hate tofu. It's like, try different ones. There are so many different ones available. There's very soft stuff. Myself, I don't actually like that. There's firm, which I quite like, and the extra firm, I really like that one. You try different brands, and if there's a different color to it or a different texture, well, that's experimentation. That is the growth. That's the learning curve when you're making yourself plant-based, is you're exploring the supermarket, exploring the beautiful gifts, the God-given plants that are on this earth for us. Nobody gets hurt, and we have all of this variety. So try 1 or 2 different types of tofu and then ask friends for recommendations on the best brands and see what you like. When we get home, we'll figure out how to fry them or steam them, what we're going to do. I don't know if you know about this. Tempeh is really tasty. It actually originates as an Indonesian dish, and it's a type of a fermented soybean. And some people really like it, some people don't. Buy a pack and try it and see. And again, you can fry it, you can grill it, you can bake it, you can mix it in with basically any recipe. That's the thing with these types of foods, mushrooms and tofu and tempeh. You just put them into your dish, whatever you're cooking, and mix them in. And now you have something a little more firm, something a little more heavier texture, plenty of protein in these plant-based products. So you're going to be healthy and experiencing new flavors. Some you will like, some you will don't. That's life. We learn and we grow. It's just amazing, amazing. Obviously, if we're going plant-based, we're going to eat a lot of vegetables. So when you're at the supermarket tomorrow, the next day, buy the usual stuff. Let's say you buy tomatoes and onions every week anyways. Cool. Now, look for 1 or 2 that you've never tried. Maybe you see asparagus over here or cauliflower here. Well, I've heard of it, but I've never tried it or I've never made it. All vegetables are basically the same in how we cook them. We boil them or we fry them or we steam them or we bake them. The time, of course, depends on the consistency of those vegetables, which comes meal by meal. Now, fruits, we don't really make a recipe out of them, but let's buy our usual fruits. Let's say you normally have bananas and oranges in the house. We'll buy 1 or 2 more that you've never tried before. And you can eat them along with your breakfast or as your dessert rather than a milk-based ice cream. You just have some dates and some cranberries and maybe a kiwi you saw. Wow, I've never tried kiwi. Let me try it. You peel it up and you eat it. So there's so many fruits available. Again, these are the gifts on this planet for us, the living beings here to eat and to share and to be healthy. So check out all that variety. Now you get home and you got it's like all this stuff. Yeah, thanks, Tom. Thanks a lot. I got 7 mushrooms, 6 tofus, and 5 golden rings here. What am I gonna cook? Try this. Think in ethnic terms. Just off the top of your head, say, okay, Mexican food. I like it. I've never cooked it. How hard can it be? Well, you get some beans. I didn't have beans. I'll go back to the supermarket. Get some black beans or some brown beans. Pinto beans are really nice. Soak them overnight. You boil them in the morning. You've got some nice soft beans. And you can mush them up or leave them whole. You can make them into a soup. If we come to a Mexican food, we're going to make a burrito. You just mash them up a little bit. You fry them with garlic and onions. You add salt and pepper as you like. And you basically have a burrito. Now you can add tomatoes to that or asparagus to that or cauliflower to that. The possibilities are absolutely endless. We just use our imagination and we start mixing things together. Sort of like when you're getting dressed in the morning, you have to choose, 3 or 4 different items to wear that day. And if you have, 50 pieces of clothing, well, you have, 2,000 different combinations of things you can wear. Time in the kitchen is the same way, right? If you've got potatoes, well, you're going to make mashed potatoes, or you're going to make baked potatoes, or you're going to put them in your burrito. Let's take another ethnic food. Italian food, really easy to make. There's pasta, there's penne. Homemade pizzas are really easy to make. Now, albeit I will use a pre-made pizza crust because I don't want to be messing with it. 7 o'clock at night, I don't feel like, whipping up a pizza crust. I take one out of the freezer, make some tomato sauce, and I just decorate it with whatever veggies I have. Let's say 2 types of mushroom, maybe a firm type of tofu, or tofu on pizza. That doesn't sound good. Then don't try it. How about beans on a pizza? Don't think so. But how about broccoli, cauliflower, corn, tomatoes? Yeah. Pineapple? Yes. Somebody tried it and said, hey, pineapple on a pizza tastes really good. So again, you're experimenting with things you find at the supermarket, and always, every time you go, every day or every week, try something new that you haven't seen or you haven't cooked by yourself before. All of those things are possible, and you're going to find some great new taste combinations as well. What about Thai food? I mean, Thai food is just amazing. It's not amazing because it has animals in the dish. It's amazing because of all the veggies and the spices and the herbs that make it so good. So you can do a simple stir fry. And of course, we might normally use, let's say, morning glory. Well, go ahead, make a morning glory. Some garlic in there and some soy sauce and maybe a little bit of pepper, and throw some tomatoes in there. Throw a mushroom in with it. Okay, now that may sound taboo to a Thai person. Says, oh, you can't put tomatoes in stir-fried morning glory. I have information for you. Yes, you can. Try it. If you like it, go for it. If you don't like it, push them on the side, and next time, try a different experimentation. Put the tempeh in with the morning glory. Or mix it up. Go with that asparagus and do a stir-fry asparagus with tomatoes and cauliflower. May or may not work. I'm just making these up as I go. And when I'm in the kitchen cooking, I'm the same way. I take a known and an unknown, and I start mixing them up. I choose my oil. I choose my type of salt or sauce. I choose the different condiments, and I mix it all together. It may be an ethnic food we're familiar with. It may be like an Indian food that we've had and that we've liked, or it's a Thai dish that we've always eaten and enjoyed, but we're mixing it up. We're not putting in a piece from a chicken or a piece from a pig. Rather, we're putting in a slice of tempeh or a new type of mushroom or some type of a tofu, or maybe we're mixing beans in with the dish. We experiment, we get creative, we get really healthy. It's so much fun. I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. People make this change in life and they say, oh, it's a challenge, it's a challenge. Yeah, fair enough, it's a challenge. My God, it's an opportunity to explore the cuisine. And it just stimulates. It just, wow, it's an amazing experience. It's so much fun. So this is a great awakening. There's so many different types of food available. In the modern age, of course, with YouTube available, you have an idea for a dish, just look it up. Let's just plant-based burgers. Look online, and you're going to find in your supermarket at least one, but maybe two, three, four types of plant-based burgers, one or two types of plant-based pizzas. You're going to be finding all kinds of sandwiches and stir fries and soups. And let's say Japanese food is your thing. Then start figuring out what do I put into my sushi that is plant-based? All the stuff we just bought from the supermarket an hour ago. Some tofu, some cucumber, some tomato, some asparagus, some cauliflower. Wow, have fun. This is a great awakening. And it opens us up. We're talking cuisine today, but this is actually a very emotional experience because we are so emotionally connected to our food. It is a spiritual experience because with each plant-based meal that we make, we're not hurting anybody. When you think about it, we've been trained by our culture for the last 30, 40, 50 years that it's okay to exploit an animal for her milk or for her eggs. It's okay to kill an animal for his or her flesh or his or her bones. But is that really who you are? Is it really okay with you that animals are being exploited, caged, and then killed because that's your culture or because you're used to it or that's what you like? Are you really okay with that? There is an amazing alternative. It's a completely new paradigm. I've talked about substitutions in today's video because that's how we get started. We start substituting things. Instead of putting in a piece of beef from a cow or a piece of pork from a pig, we take something from a soybean, call it tofu or tempeh, or we take a mushroom from the north, from the south, and we start putting it in as a substitution. But once we really break from the paradigm, from that mindset that says, I need protein from an animal that I paid for, which was killed so that I, the consumer, can buy it and eat it. We want to get away from that mess, from that quagmire of our culture, and just open up all new vistas. In the spiritual and the religious senses, this is so consistent with the love and the compassion and the kindness that we hear from all of the world's great religions. So no matter who you are or where you are, we know that we live in a world where love and kindness and compassion are essential and in great need. So today's breakfast, lunch, dinner, go for it. Use your imagination, use your creativity, and watch yourself. Watch your own heart and your own physical body as it evolves. One last thing is going to say, well, I eat plant-based. Oh, I'm so hungry. Have a banana. No. Have a second banana. Have a handful of cashews. Get over it. The reason you're hungry because all the plants that I mentioned in this video and every other plant is easily digestible. And that's what gives you the nutrition, and you digest it so quickly, you're hungry again. So bigger portions are in order. Bigger portions, bigger heart. Take care. Have fun. Bye.